Hi, today I will be informing you on homelessness and how different countries deal with this issue. So, during the Great Depression, the U.S. saw its first epidemic of homelessness, and with that came the creation of Hoovervilles. Hoovervilles were basically what we now think of tent cities, which they created in order to survive. And while we are currently not in a depression, we have seen a rise in tent cities here in California and in other countries. Today I will be discussing homelessness in California, Finland, and in Canada. Homelessness is something that can happen to anyone, anywhere in the world. Yet there is a difference in how each country deals with this issue. According to the NPR, as of January 2020, California alone has had about 151 inhabitants experience homelessness, and this was prior to the pandemic, meaning that numbers could be even higher. How many of you have traveled across California or even across Santa Barbara and noticed that tent cities are popping up more and more along streets and highways? I know I have. I will be explaining homelessness in California and its causes and how it's being dealt with. So why is homelessness so prevalent in California? Housing shortage is a huge factor of homelessness. With less affordable housing available, more people are forced onto the street. Rising costs of living are pushing renters out. And one thing that happens is gentrification. This is when people with higher income are moving to cities and places that were less desirable and buying up properties and making it a nicer place and more desirable, which forces out the original tenants because of the rent increase. 1 in 9 Americans lives in California, and roughly 1 in 4 homeless person lives in California. This makes the homeless population high and visible here in California, which is why it seems more prevalent here. Here are other factors that contribute to homelessness. According to the HUD, Housing of Urban Development, it estimates that in 2019, 36% of homeless people suffer from substance abuse or mental illness or both. Second, homeless people are less likely to get help with mental illness or rehabilitation because many programs require a permanent address in order to be eligible, leaving many feeling hopeless and with nowhere to get help. Lastly, NIMBY, not in my backyard, is an attitude where people want to help the homeless, but they just don't want it to happen in their own backyard. This is basically saying that they want programs for homeless people, but not near them, as it may affect their house value or can destroy their sense of community. So how is California dealing with homelessness? They are building more shelters, soup kitchens, and in some cases they are trying to build tiny homes for homeless people to get them off the street. There are also negative ways that they are dealing with homelessness, such as busing them out of states or surrounding cities because they have the mentality of out of sight, out of mind. And this just means that they are making these homeless people somebody else's problem. However, there are also programs such as overnight parking lots and safe parking programs for people who are homeless and living out of their car. So this is a big savior because for many people, they are scared and dangerous of where they can park or cannot afford to get another ticket. So for example, places like Walmart, people can park and can spend the night, which is really helpful in combating it. The U.S. and specifically California is dealing with a homeless crisis, and there are many factors, but no good solutions. While the U.S. has always had homeless population, it has felt more prevalent in recent years. Countries like Finland figured out better ways of dealing with homelessness. So how is Finland combating homelessness? Have you traveled to other countries and seen homeless people? If so, were there a lot more, far less than in California? Why is there a low population of homelessness in Finland? And this is why. Homelessness in Finland, the homeless population per night is about 5,000 people. Homeless numbers have gone down from about 20,000 in the 1980s to less than 5,000 in 2021. That is significantly lower. However, bigger urban areas in Finland have higher numbers of homelessness. Some other factors of homelessness in Finland are like many in other cities. Substance abuse and is a problem that is keeping individuals from seeking help. Mental illness contributes also to homelessness, as they cannot afford to get help or rely on their family, as they may not have a good connection with them. Domestic violence and legal problems are also reasons people are homeless. For example, prisoners awaiting trials often end up losing employment and therefore housing. So what is Finland doing currently to fight homelessness? The country has applied a program called the Housing First concept, meaning homeless people receive small apartments and counseling without any preconditions. The Y Foundation also is an affordable social housing stock that has been buying up apartments in the private market to be used for homeless people, which is what is really combating leaving a lot of people with a home and not on the street. They also happen to have a higher number of social workers, which plays a vital role in helping homeless people with getting support and filling out the form that they need to get the help that they need. So although Finland is the only country in Europe where homeless is declining with the housing first approach, that is the main reason. While Finland has one of the most successful rates combating homelessness, there are other countries like Canada that are also seeing success in combating homelessness. So how is Canada dealing with homelessness? Have you ever visited our neighboring country of Canada? Homelessness in Canada. More than 235,000 people in Canada experience homelessness in any given year. Canada has a large population of Indigenous people, and with every 1 in 15 being homeless, this is a big issue. Another issue is lack of low-income housing and housing shortage, like in many places. Some other factors of homelessness in Canada are similar to the US and Finland, with substance abuse being a main contributor. In addition, panhandling is illegal in Canada, and you may be fined and face charges and be criminally responsible. There are many reasons also why people become homeless in Canada, some being loss of employment, family breakup, family violence, mental illness, and poor physical health. So as you can see, many of these are similar to what I have talked about previously. So what is Canada doing to reduce homelessness? Canada's national housing strategy has allocated more than $70 billion in order to create safe and affordable housing to its citizens. In the city of Medicine Hat in Alberta, for example, no person living without a shelter goes more than 10 days before the government provides them with permanent housing. Although this is not a full solution, it is a good start. They also happen to have emergency response programs, which provide support like shelters, food, and daytime programs to help assist. So although Canada is not as successful as Finland, they are, however, dealing with homelessness at a higher rate than US and seeing more success. As mentioned above are some different approaches to homelessness and what different countries have done. Doing research on homelessness has shed some light on different approaches and the solutions across different countries, and how and why some are more successful than others. The approach and attitude towards homelessness differ in areas, but many of the factors that play into homelessness are similar. So we can take a page out of Finland's playbook and create more programs like Housing First and hopefully reduce the number of homeless people throughout the countries, especially in the US.